Yeah, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Titan Futures day trade live stream. This is day 7. So, welcome. Thank you very much for checking us out and joining in. Sure do appreciate that. But as you can see on my screen here, you got the legal disclaimers. Check those out. I'm going to leave those up for a few minutes so you can read those. Say hi if you're just joining us, and check out in the chat there. And remember, ask any questions you'd like to ask. This is a very friendly station here, but our channel, I should start saying instead of station. But again, thanks again for checking us out. But this is day 7. You know, it is Thursday, August 29th, 2019, right at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. So we'll kind of introduce the guys. Mitchell's going to be running a little bit late this morning, but Soto, you on? Can you hear me?
I am on and I'm here ready to trade.
All right, there's Soto Trader there. He's knocking it out of the park, making a lot of points, so that's awesome. He's being very consistent as normal, but he's definitely one of the instructors here, so he'll definitely be putting a lot of great input in kind of helping the live stream flow a little bit. So thanks again, Soto, for being here. Good. All right, so let me just real quick here. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this disclaimer off so we can kind of look at a chart here and kind of open it up. So we'll just kind of get this going. All right, so while everybody's we're kind of just jumping on here, let me go ahead and do the usual description of the channel just briefly, kind of to all the new people. I mean, this is a brand new channel here, obviously, so this thing's going to hopefully start growing soon, but brand new channel, so kind of want to throw a little bit, remind everybody kind of what we are and what we're here for. But this is all in the description down below your video here. You can open that up and expand that window, and you can see a lot more in detail. But what you'll see, you'll just have kind of a description of a product that we do have, which is the Auto Trader, which is awesome. But you can look at that if you choose to want to do that. Had another great night last night, made 9 points while we slept, which was good. But it's something for you to look at if you have any interest in that. But if you're not, so just wanted to pass that on. But the channel here is a live stream channel. Okay, it's a free channel, so we're going to teach you how to trade for free here. Okay, at least our method, which has been proven over many years to be very successful. It's a very easy thing to learn. You can see on my chart right here, this is as deep as it gets as far as indicators go for the most part. You might see me throw something on there, but if I do, it's a market profile of some type. But you're not going to see a lot of stochastics. You're not going to see RSIs or CCIs or MACDs. You're not going to see all that kind of stuff on there. You know, it's got its place for other methods maybe, but not for ours. We're very simple. But just to kind of go back, this is to kind of skim through the description a little bit. That's on the YouTube channel here, but it's a free, like I said, it's a free educational trading channel. So it doesn't matter if you're a very beginner just getting started, or if you've been doing this for 20 years like I have. It's something to check out and just kind of learn a little bit about, and come, and we want it to be a very positive, respectful, stress-free, and very kind of an encouraging place to learn how to trade if you'd like to do that. If you have interest in making some money on the side, or turning this into a full-time living, this is a great place to start. You know, we keep it simple, very easy. We trade live in the room. Just so you understand, those aren't recommendations. If we make a trade, you're going to do that on your behalf and at your own accountability there. But we don't make suggestions. This is purely for educational purposes, so as the disclaimer states. But I want this channel to be extremely positive, okay? We want you to interact in the chat. We want you to say hi, and you got any kind of question. It doesn't matter if you just ask what the futures market is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how basic it is, what a tick is, or what a point is. You know, I want you to know all that kind of stuff. We want to talk through that, because I can promise you, if you're willing to ask the question, there's a lot of people wanting to know the answer, you know, that don't know the answer. So don't ever let that kind of discourage you here, okay? You know, the big thing here, you know, just be respectful and be positive. I just can't say that enough. I want this to be a great channel for you to come and learn. But, you know, we're going to have 3 traders in here that will be talking. They're all instructors, myself, and then Soto, which you've heard already, and Mitchell, which will possibly join on a little bit later. But there's three of us here that can teach the method and have done very well. We all have a different outlook at the method from a perspective standpoint. Even though the method is the same, we all might see things just a little bit different and have a little bit different risk tolerance. So it's good to have additional mind thought processes going on here. So again, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but we'd love for you to subscribe and become part of this community here. We try to get 1 point a day. That's it. If we can get more, that's great. But we're trying to at least net that 1 point per day, 3 point net a week, and as you'll see if you stay around the channel, what that can grow into. We do a live updated spreadsheet based on our trading for the day, so you see in real time if we win or lose, and then what that's adding up and how the account balances are growing. So we started them at $1,000 for the purpose of being a very small account, because the reality is most people have small accounts. So we want to show you that it can be done. We use very, very tight stops here on 1 point stop. So that's not the industry norm. People say you can't do that, but we prove every day it can be done. So anyway, so just check out the description, check out the channel. Hope you subscribe. If you got anything you'd like to learn or anything you'd like to add to the channel, just put it in the chat box, because we love the constructive criticism here or any suggestions. Like I said, we're a brand new channel. We're trying to figure this out together and find the best way to make this channel great for you guys, and how to bring good content to you and how to help you learn to trade. And that's the primary focus here on this channel, is to teach you how to do that if that's something you'd like to learn. So again, with all that said, that's all I'm going to say, I guess, about that. So you can read the description where there's a lot more in detail there. But anyway, glad to have you here, Paul. Good to see you this morning. So glad you're here, man. Look forward to your input as well. We'll kind of move forward. Soto, what you got?
All right. Well, first let's talk about this one here. If you look at the 9 o'clock 8:55, would you consider that a zone already, or will you wait? And why?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. 8:55. Let me mark this on the chart, what you're speaking of here. Yeah, I would consider that. I would like, I would. At this point, it's going to have some rejection out of there. I know that, because it's on this old support level. That's been turned into resistance. Plus, it's got a supply candle there. That's what pushed us through that support was a bunch of sellers. So I would consider that to be, at this point, a area of interest. I would like to see this current candle at 910 really kind of go lower, get some more follow through, and break through this 29.1375 support area.
Right
Back here at 735 area. I'd like that support to be busted by this candle, and then when I would draw me a supply zone on the 8:55 candle at that point. And then I would strongly consider to look for the trade if it comes back in there and it meets all of our rules. So, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, that makes sense. So I've already have it drawn, but you're waiting for a stronger push out before you consider a good possibility for a trade.
Yeah, I am. That's just personal to me. I mean, it might work out perfect. I mean, there's a lot of action right there from a sideways standpoint. If you just look to the left all the way back into 5 o'clock this morning, you see a lot of action right through that area, of support and resistance going on. So that's definitely a good area, so as we push through it, to possibly come back in there and reject out of it. So I'm definitely not going to disagree with your thought process there. I would just like, personally, I would just like it to show me a little more follow through, and then it kind of take a little breather and come back in there. That's just me personally. Then I would consider. Then I would probably look to draw that zone. But I don't fault you at all for why you're drawing it. I think it's still good. Yeah.
All right. And then the other zone I have is 3:05 a.m.
You have a 3:05 a.m. zone. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, that's down here at the bottom. Yeah. What you see drawn in the big one down here at the bottom of 305, what he's referring to is a good zone there on a 5 minute time frame. I'll draw kind of another one through that. I've already drawn a big. That's that big one I've got drawn right there. That sits in is a 1 hour demand zone. So this lines up. This 5 minute actually lines up pretty good into that 1 hour time zone. We could actually get into that demand zone down there on that 5 minute and just gives us extra confirmation that, hey, you're in a good area that even on a larger time frame, big boys see as a potential area of demand. So yep, I like it. Why don't you let me ask you this, do you not have why don't you have the 5 o'clock zone drawn?
5 o'clock. Let me look here. You said 5 o'clock?
Yeah.
I do have 5 o'clock.
You do have 5 o'clock. Okay, I didn't hear you say that. I thought you just had the 3:05 drawn.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have. Let me see. I have 5 a.m.
Uh huh.
3:05, 5 a.m. and the. And the 9 a.m. So I got those three.
Okay, nice. Okay, good. Yep, perfect.
Nice.
So the big red zone you see up here on my screen at the top, the price has jumped into, that was a 1 hour resistance area as well. So just kind of showing overhead sellers that we should hopefully get some follow through to the downside here, and then kind of retrace back up in the 9 o'clock zone. That would just give me more confirmation that, yeah, we're pushing lower here for a reason. So we'll kind of watch that. We're going to come into a little bit of a support right through this area, but not going to trade it at this point. But there is a little bit of support there. That's one reason why it's kind of battling getting through that. So we'll kind of just watch, be patient. Now, if we start to get back up in your zone at 9 o'clock here with volume dead like it is right now, then I would definitely look to possibly even take a trade there myself. So I'll go ahead and draw this zone with you here and kind of look at it and see. Since we got so much resistance right there right now, and if volume stays low and we kind of creep our way back up to the top here into this zone, it might be a good spot. So where is your trigger line? I know you use a blue trigger line. Where do you have that?
Right now I'm looking at 29.16 flat.
All right.
And that's based on, that's enough room for error for the top end. But also if you go back to the I think it's the 505 swing, that's right on that swing there. But there's also a swing at 530 that covers at the very bottom of that zone. So I will even feel comfortable going to 29.15.5. But it's kind of early in the day. I'm checking things out. So I think 29.16 will be the conservative choice. Also based on open and closes there. So their price is going to 29.15.5. I just went in. Touched me, but it didn't pick me up yet.
All right. Yeah, I'm in with you at 216. So we'll see if this pulls us in here.
Yep.
Volume's kind of all right. We're in the trade here, so let's see if we can get a quick little bounce out of it.
We're in the trade.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's just see if we can get a little quick bounce here.
And I think we might get it right here.
Let's see here. We're trying. It's trying.
It's trying hard.
Yeah, but volume's increasing. I don't like volume increasing right here. So go ahead and give me a little rejection here, guys.
Come on.
Like you said, it's early in the morning still. We'll be patient and see what happens. See if it can give us a little bit of a push down. The volume is increasing. So let's let it slow down.
Yeah. We're at 32. It's rejecting off that price really good. There it is. Come on.
Yeah, it wants to sit on our target there. Come on down.
Yeah. I think we were in a good spot though.
Yeah, I like the spot. Yeah, I think you're good on the spot. I don't like it how volume's increasing. I need it to drop out.
They're, def- they're definitely get some rejection out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I get good rejection out of it, like you said. So we'll give it a few minutes. We're not going to panic here, you know. All right. Yeah.
Close. So
Uh,
I said close, but not yet.
yeah, I'm going to go ahead and lock in a tick just because it's taking its time. So I'm at least locking in a tick. I got two on, so I'm going to lock a tick here. Yeah. So I got taken out there for plus one tick. So come on down there, boy. I think you're gonna get your point. Just be patient. I think it's gonna come down. I don't know. So we just have to let it play out. But you're still in, right? Oh
I'm
yeah,
still in it.
yeah,
Yep, I'm at a point five, between point five and a quarter. It's going back and forth on the positive.
yeah. Good. I had two positions in my ATM. When it gets into four ticks of profit, it moves to one plus one, and that's what happened. My second position actually went into plus one, so I had to go ahead and move both of them in just to be safe, and it ended up coming and getting me and taking me out for a tick. So I had to exit the position. But slow down there. Come on.
Yeah, volume's picking up. Yeah, yep, and I'm out on the
Yeah.
loss.
All right.
All right,
No worries. All right. No worries.
let's see here. Yeah, volume is picking up a good bit.
Yeah.
That was interesting because I really thought that would be a strong site, a real strong area.
Yeah.
Uh, we entered right in. We didn't even take a tick of heat to enter in, so we were pretty conservative area. I guess we could have gone a little higher, but
You don't know that at the time. You don't know that. I think if you break down to look at it after the fact, we kind of went in a hard, long candle. You know, just because it went into our zone. Volume was low, but it was picking up. You know, so if you start to kind of go hindsight and look at it, we might have been a little premature, but we felt the zone was good, obviously, and it still is good. Obviously, I mean, it's a good zone. It just broke just by one tick, but obviously there's a lot of rejection there. We were just a little early into the trade. That's all there was to it. Just a little early into the trade.
yeah. Another thing is maybe we should have waited, like you said, for a little more push down before we consider that a good zone.
Yeah.
So I think that was the thing. I think if it would have gone down more, we would have had a stronger push down once it picked us up.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Just didn't have enough push through out of the sideways action, to be honest. So that's a good lesson there. You know, even though the zone looks good, everything lines up. We're right in the middle of the sideways action. We should have kind of waited to push through this whole sideways, get more commitment to the downside, and then look for the retracement back up into that supply zone. That would have been probably the better decision there, but that's okay. I mean, this is part of it. I mean, you make decisions in real time. It's not after fact. You know, we don't trade that way. You know, we
Right.
make decisions in real time, and it came to our profit target a couple different times, but it just never took it out. You know, so
Right.
we were just a little early. That's all there was to it. No worries. You know, a lot of game left. A lot of,
game
so,
I ha- game I haven't even started yet. There
yeah,
we go.
so we're good, man. We're all right.
Yeah. Now I'm okay with that trade. Like I said, I was just trying to learn from the mistake, and I think it was on my part and not on the market rather that I should have just not traded there because of that. Waiting for it. I should have had a strong push out, like you suggested at the beginning. So it's a good lesson there to
Yeah,
learn.
good lesson for everybody to learn there, including myself, because I went in and jumped in with you. I think just to kind of ride with you. I just got lucky that my trading stop went ahead and triggered and put me in one tick of profit. So I didn't want to leave
Yeah.
one position out, so I just moved both of them into plus one tick. So ended up netting half a point out of that. But you know, it wasn't what I was looking for. but
Right.
I kind of got lucky on that, so I'll take that every once in a while.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
yeah, so we'll kind of watch this, and kind of see and let it play out. What it wants to do is kind of move it slow, we
Uh-huh.
got 10 minutes till the New York Open, so we'll just be patient, check it out and watch it. Let it play. They've got some good zones drawn, so we'll just kind of let price come to us and not try to beat the market, because that's just not going to happen. You just have to be willing to trade it on our terms and let them bring price to us, and
Exactly.
and we'll jump in when they want to jump in. We're going to ride on when the big boys, wherever they want to go, and the algorithms want to go. That's where we want to get in at, and we've proven that over thus far. In 6 days into this is day 7. We've proven that we have a pretty good idea how that should work and how that should go, and so we'll just kind of trust what we do, and and we'll have another opportunity.
Absolutely. What if so for the purpose of learning and people understanding,
Uh-huh.
people watching us, they would have said, "Hey, you only lost by one tick. Had you removed your 1 point stop a little higher, just even 1 or 2 ticks higher, you still would have been in the trade. You would have had your point. Actually, not yet, but close. Maybe having your point. What do you tell those people? Hey, what's 1 tick? What's one extra 2 ticks so you can win?
Yeah. Well, one tick turns into 2 ticks. 2 ticks turns into 4 ticks. And 4 ticks turns into 8 ticks because all you're doing is padding your ego that you don't want to be wrong, and and that's just a very dangerous and slippery road to go down. So we decide what our risk is up front first before our reward. We're willing to take our 1 point stop if we get in our position. So I'm not willing to take a point and a tick stop. It's a hard fast rule here that we do 1 point stops for the fact that we can't control the market. We don't know what the market's going to do. After the fact, right now, yeah, we could have stayed in the trade and possibly got our point here by one tick. But we don't know that going on. That very same candle could have taken off and gone 10 points in the other direction, or could have gone two or 3 points in the other direction. So you can't just arbitrarily say, well, I'm going to go a point and a tick because this time it only went a tick above me, so I'm going to change my stop to a point and tick. Well, next time it's going to go a point and 2 ticks. It's just going to be, it's just how the market works. It's all about, we have to have a hard fast rule on our stop. It's just, I don't know the best way to say that, but it's a 4 tick stop. Okay, and we just have to focus on, okay, we know we got a 4 tick stop, which is a risk. Okay, especially with what we're showing you account size, you got to start small. If you have to start small, we're showing you how to do that on a very small account. So we can't afford with our method here to adjust the 1 point stop. So we got to become masters at taking entries, and if we do that, then that 1 point stop will not be that much of an issue, and you won't have to keep taking losses with that 1 point stop for your ego to say, man, I got to move this thing because it's going to go in my direction. I know it's going to go into my direction. I'm going to move this stop, all the way up here to this top. I'm going to give it room to breathe. You start justifying why you're going to move your stop, and all that's going to do is drain your account. It's either quickly or slowly. You're going to blow up accounts. And unfortunately, I know what that feels like. So, and I think any trader that's traded over a long period of time and been successful has that in common. You've blown up an account, at some point in time if you try to learn what the masses are teaching. Okay, so if you come here, we're going to stop, and we're going to stop you from blowing up that account if you follow our method. You're not going to blow up accounts if you follow our method because we have 1 point stops. I mean, that's the sole reason. It's because we have a 1 point stop. So, and if you're willing to be patient and wait for the right entries based on the method, you're not going to blow your account up. And the only way we can make sure that doesn't happen is keeping a 1 point stop, not a one point and a tick stop, because today it went one tick above our zone and then come back down. So I can't sit here and say mentally I need to expand my zone, my stop. It's just going to continue to get worse and worse. So it's just kind of a hard, fast rule you have to just commit to and stick to. Um, and I mean, that's the long-winded answer I'm giving you here, but you just can't afford to play the game of adjusting your stops. You got to become consistent with what you're doing, because consistency is key, and learn to work around a consistent set of rules, and and try to just take what the market gives you, because what you're gonna find out, the market will always win, man. You will never control the market ever. Nobody will. Nobody's got a magic system. Nobody's got a holy grail system that says this is what the market's going to do on every tick and every turn. It's just not the case. We all look for that. I mean, I spent a good 5 years looking for that, and then it finally come to the realization that's just not the case, man. It's just not out there, because it's so random, as far as the tick movements and how we get to certain areas is random. There's always predetermined certain areas in the market where the price is moving, because the big boys have money sitting in order, sitting all over the markets. So, but we don't know that. We have to just kind of follow the map that they're giving us and be very stealth-like, not really stealth-like, but be very patient to wait to see which way they're going, and then wait for our opportunity to get into that. So does any of that make sense? Or it's kind of long-winded, I know, but there's just not a hard, fast reason why you don't change stops, move it to a tick, except the fact that that's just a recipe for disaster, because you'll continually to pad your ego about not wanting to lose because you want to be right, and that will lead to a blown account very quickly.
Yeah, makes perfect sense to me. So I thought it was really good.
Yeah,
And like right now, have you had moved the 1 point stop to a point and a tick or two, whatever? You still would be in this trade. You still be sweating. You still would not have your point, and you probably would have moved your ticks even a couple more, because it looks like it's going to continue to go up a little bit. So
that's exactly right. That's exactly the logic process you would have gone through had you done that, and you're going to lose because price is going to go up a little higher. I think we can kind of watch that and feel that and see that price is going to continue to rise a little bit, and we would have moved our stop just to take a bigger loss, and we're just not going to do that.
Right.
So good job there, and it's all about everybody's going to lose, and if we can't accept that, then save your money and go somewhere else, and
Right.
learn a different skill, because you're going to lose. You're going to lose. There's no way around it. You're going to lose. So it's just a matter of, for us and the way we trade, we want to win more than we lose, and we just have to do that by being patient and taking the best trades that are presented to us. There's going to be days that we don't net profit. We lose for the day, but those trades that we take will be, the method said to take them, but the market just didn't want to go the way we wanted it to go, and that's okay. Because we have that 1 point stop, we live to fight it for tomorrow, right? So that's kind of the mindset here. So you're exactly right. Just hang tight there, and keep your 1 point stop. Don't adjust it.
Yep. We're right before market opens here. So right now, like I said, both of my zones are in the bottom, below the current price. Um, do you have anything north of us?
I've just got on my chart. I've just got the hourly zone up there, that big red zone. On my chart's an hourly supply zone. So I'm just kind of watching that. I'll leave that up there, but I don't have any other zones drawn at this point. You might could argue a zone at 8:30.
Yeah.
You could possibly argue that zone there, especially going into a higher time resistance. And I'm not going to disagree with that, but I just not here at the open with volume going up like it's going to be going up. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to let it's going to get. I think it might get a little higher, so I could back out and take a quick little look at that. But so I'm just going to kind of be patient and wait, man. No reason to rush this thing. because there's a lot of resistance right there. So I think we're going to get a push down somewhere, but I'm going to wait for it to show up on my time frame, on my 5 minute.
Gotcha. Mitchell is ready to jump in the call when you are.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to have to do, then I'm going to have to kill this call with you real quick.
All right.
And then I'll call you both back at the same time.
We'll be right back.
All right. All right, guys. Hang tight. We'll be right back. All right. Now let me pull both of them in here and get the whole team on board. So. Hey, Mitchell. How you doing, man?
Hello.
Everybody on board?
I got you.
I'm here.
All right, perfect. Well, we're in. We're all back. So just in time for the open there. So we'll kind of watch it and see what it wants to do.
Y'all have any good zones?
Yeah, we're bumping into an hourly time zone right now from a resistance standpoint, but we have some good zones drawn on the 5 minute for demand. We're kind of waiting for some zones to pop up for supply on the 5 minute, but we had one this morning we took a trade on, briefly supply. Didn't work out in our favor, but it's all right. We can kind of go through that in a minute, but a good zone drawn, demand zone is at 5 o'clock, and then 3:05, that kind of area.
Awesome. I got the 5 o'clock. I literally was drawing the zone when y'all said it.
Cool. Yeah, so we got a little price spiking into this zone up here for this hourly time frame. So we'll just kind of watch that, kind of see how that moves out of there.
I was looking at the 8:30 zone. They did, depending on where you would have been, they respected. They went in, went out, but then they broke through it.
Yeah.
So just to let you know.
Yeah. Cool. We definitely see prices pushing strong here at the open, so I think that's if we can get a good close here at the top of this candle instead of a big rejection wick, then I think that's a good sign. We're going to go a little higher, and we might be able to turn that zone right there, that 8:30 zone might be able to be turned into a demand area. So we'll kind of watch that.
Oh, has resting. If they come back and rest there.
Yeah. I mean, it will become a demand area if price finishes strong here on this candle.
Yeah.
Then that just tells me we got some conviction to the long side, temporarily anyway. And I believe with all that support happening right there at the top, right, that's been busted through. I think that's that area of that was resistance will become support now.
Yeah.
At least for a temporary little bounce. So we'll kind of just keep an eye on it and watch it.
Do y'all think that it could possibly go lower than that 8:30 zone and get into, say, maybe the 9:30 zone?
Yeah, absolutely. We got that drawn on the chart now. It's part of that. I can flip that here. I'm just waiting on the candle to close here to really see what kind of conviction we have, so before I do anything else. So I'm just being patient to see, make sure it's just not the open push, the excitement and them going up there and grabbing stops and and we go the opposite direction, you know. So that's what I want to just be patient for and wait and see. Yeah, I mean, that 930 does qualify for sure. Okay. So yeah, I mean, look at that. I mean, that's pretty good there. I mean, that's good conviction saying, okay, we just didn't go up and grab stops, at least at that area. We're going to at least possibly go higher. So you can draw a zone there at 930. I would still even draw, I'm going to go ahead and turn that, what is that, 830 into a demand zone.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll kind of watch that as well and just see if price wants to come back in and give us a little bounce here temporarily. Where to go in at that? That's the kicker here. I'd go in at, I'll look for a trade at the 1875 area.
That's exactly where I'm at.
So that's where I'll be looking at a trade to the bounce to the long side if it sets up for us.
Soto, did you pull an all-nighter?
I was up all night, just trading away my life here. No, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, I was up right now.
Binge watching something.
Yeah, bench watching. Bench watching the European market.
There you go. Awesome.
All right, it's coming down to us, and it picked me up, and it picked us up, and not yet.
Yeah, I didn't get in it. That happened too quick for me.
Not yet. Come on.
Come on.
Got
Got it.
Good job, guys. All three of us.
Good job, guys. I didn't get in, so.
How did I get in? Oh, you didn't put your position in?
No, I didn't. I mean, it was the right spot. I just didn't get it in. So.
Yeah, I didn't love it. Those kind of trades scare me. I'm definitely not out of the gate when the market opens.
That's fine.
I'll let it calm down a little bit.
Yeah, and I know you're not very comfortable. I mean, you said that yesterday still that you're not very comfortable with, switching zones either. You know, once it runs through right now, and that's fine.
I did switch it, and I put the blue line, and it took one tick of heat and got the point. I mean, it was a perfect trade.
Yeah.
I just have to watch it do that about 20 more times, and then I'll get confident to do it.
Sure, absolutely. Good
Okay.
job. Yeah.
All right.
We knew it was going to bounce out of there. It might not sustain an up run here, but we knew it was going to. We had a really good idea it was going to bounce, but just from all the support there. You know, it's just we had to pick the right spot for it to get us without because we have a 1 point stop. You know. And we need to remind people we have a 1 point stop here. We didn't put our stop all the way down. It's a swing low down there at 212 somewhere around there. We don't do that. So we have to really be precise with our entries and pick those and which we did right there. So very nice job. One tick of heat. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so
back to even, Soto, huh? Back to even.
Minus commission, yes.
Well, yeah, minus commission.
Yeah, commission. That's where they get you, man. That's big government for you.
Yeah, they're gonna get it. They're gonna get theirs one way or the other, aren't they?
You're gonna get it. But yes, I'm back to even at least on net points, and like I said, perfect spot, one tick of heat, in and out in seconds. So that was good. So, and I thought all of us were in it, so I'm sorry. I thought that we're celebrating for all three of us.
Well, that's how I celebrate. That was the right area. I was going to get into it. I just didn't get my order in the time I was doing something else.
Yeah.
So it's fine. Well, one thing I want to notice, because I meant to make this point earlier, when we got into that trade earlier and it went to our profit target and sat there hit it a couple times but never took it out, and then obviously is backed up on us, right? And took us out.
Right.
But you remember, one thing that you will find out, and you guys can attest to this, but in our method, when we're in the right spot, our trades are triggered quickly and they're exited quickly. They're not. It doesn't take 2 and 3 candles for us to get our trade. So to get our profit target, it happens within seconds once we enter our trade because we're in the right spot and we have a quick target. But if price is just bumping around and going sideways for a couple of candles, then we're better off just to exit out of that trade and take a smaller loss if we can, because what you've seen thus far in this channel and what the guys know by trading the method, anytime we get into a successful trade, that thing's over within seconds. We've hit our target profit and within 20 seconds or 25 seconds, then we've made our money, and then that's how we know we were in the right trade. You guys agree to that?
Completely.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Good.
To this point, I have not done that. I have not removed. Yeah, I would take the loss to this point because I believe. I guess I misunderstood you, but once we're committed, I just committed. I'm all in, win or lose. But that makes sense. If you said if it bounces around a little too long, go ahead and lock it in, and see what happens. So that makes good sense.
I have closed out of many of them.
Yeah. That's all right. I mean, that's part of it, man. If it's not taking off right away and it's going sideways, these are 5-minute candles. So if you're in a trade and it's going sideways for a full 5 minutes, then obviously we're not in at the right time for the big boys to say, okay, it's time to run, right? I mean, they might sit there and go sideways and accumulate for an hour and then go in our direction, but we just don't have the luxury of having a 1-point stop to do that, because they're going to have a wider range than 1 point if they're just going to sit there and accumulate before they take a long position or a short position hard, So because of that, if we're going sideways, we are better off in our method just to kill it, and take a tick loss or 2-tick loss or move our, in my case, I got my ATM moved me to 1 tick of profit very quickly, so I went ahead and moved the other one in, and it ended up taking me out at 1 tick, but a profit. But it's a matter of, it has to happen quickly, that's the bottom line. If trades aren't happening quickly for us, then we're not in the right position.
Are you guys going to the 9 o'clock?
I'm not, no.
9:30?
8:30, 9 o'clock, yeah.
It's basically the same thing as the 9 o'clock. Yeah, there's 1 tick difference. But I'm not taking it. I mean, the candles are too long. Volume's still spiking pretty good, even though it's decreasing. It's just too much strength to the downside. It's sitting there bouncing back and forth, so it might have worked out possibly if you got into the right spot. But it's just too strong to the downside at this point for me. So I didn't get in it. You could have made your trade, obviously. You could have made your point. That's like if you would have been in at 50, you could have got your point there, but I was just not taking it.
Okay. Mitchell, you take it?
I did not. I agree with Brian. The previous candle, it didn't tell me anything that was just jumping out at me, and then this candle, the body just ran down there and kind of gave me a little scare.
And we're coming out of an hour. We're coming out of an hourly time frame resistance, so we know there's a lot of buyers in that area. That could just push that thing down fast and hard, which it looked like that's what was happening. So it just not the ideal area for me to go long into a known area of strong resistance on an hourly time frame. Does that make sense? I don't have clear skies above me, if that makes sense, to take the right trade into a long position. Even though we marked it up and it bounced nicely out of there, it just it's not the ideal setup. Now, if I didn't have this red area drawn, knowing that there's a lot of resistance right there in an hourly chart, and if there wasn't any resistance there in an hourly chart, then yeah, I'm probably in that trade. But I just know there's a lot of resistance up there, and no reason to try to squeeze a point in between me and a wall, and that's just it's too early in the day for that. We're gonna get good movement, looks like today, so we'll have better opportunities.
Good.
So we're just trying to get our point or two or three, or however we decide to do it, and get out of the market. We're not trying to beat it up, you know. We just want to take a little bit of what it gives us.
So going to talk about let's see, the 5 o'clock area, the 5 and the 305. Where would you guys consider a trade in those?
When? Where?
Yeah, where in that zone?
Um, Without looking at anything, right here, I would just eyeballing it. I'm going to be around the 9 quarter to 9. I mean to 875. That's kind of the area I'd put in the trade. Is at 8.75 there to possibly even 9. That's kind of where, just looking at it without price action, that's probably what I would do.
Right. Okay. I'm looking at probably oh 09, 2909 and a quarter.
9 and a quarter, yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
a good spot. Yeah.
And again, not looking at price action or anything like that yet, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look to the left of that, right at 209, you know, there's a lot of uh, demand right there, obviously, right? There used to be resistance, but it's become busted now. It'll become support there, you know. So I think you're great there at '09 or even a quarter below that, a tick below that. It doesn't matter. I think any of that area right there, you're gonna get your bounce out of that. You know, we're gonna get our 1 point bounce most likely if we're even in the trade, because we're not going to get into the trade if price is just steamrolling down anyway, you know. But if price is slowing down and volume's slowing down, I think that's an area where it's going to bounce around and bounce out of that pretty good for at least a point or two. Yeah, so I like that area. Now, Mitchell, do you have the order flow chart there?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Any uncapped areas there, VPOCs
I'll
in
be,
that area?
That's the thing.
I'll be right back.
All right.
Almost every line is capped.
Yeah. Okay.
So those candles starting at 420 when they're stepping down,
Uh-huh.
they're capping the tops on every single one of them. And then the VPOC on the 5 o'clock candle is sitting at 2908.50. So I'm kind of in the 2908.75 area to try to grab that VPOC.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's kind of it. Yeah, the 9 to. So yeah, okay, 209 and then the 8.75 area. Yep. Okay. So I think either one of those would probably work. That's good. Well, we'll just kind of wait and see how it plays out. But yeah, thanks for that, because I don't have my chart up. I don't have that chart up right now. I actually have it up, but I have it on the volume in the 7 minute. Let me pull it up and look at it. What's that?
That noise?
Yeah.
That is a shrink wrap machine.
Oh, that's from your work there.
I told them to muffle it, but they aren't listening to me. I have my door shut and something under the bottom of it to seal it up.
That's funny.
I think when I told them to make it quiet, they tried to make it as loud as they can.
Of course.
They got in trouble yesterday, so they're mad at me.
Uh-oh.
We may see a touch back in that same area of support that we flipped from resistance to support at 830.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Looking at the order flow, it left that last candle uncapped there, right on our blue line, exactly where they've been bouncing.
All right, guys, we're just hanging in. If you're just joining in, I'm kind of watching a little dead time right now. We're just being patient. That's all we're doing. We're just being patient, waiting for the market to do something that we should be a part of. So just watching price action and seeing how it wants to play. So just be patient here, and we'll wait for opportunities. So obviously, if you're able to hear us, hear the live stream here, then you can hear things going on in the background and all of us. So we're definitely doing other things besides trading. So that's a good thing for you. If you want to watch this at work, you can do that. We don't have to constantly be glued to the screens based on all different indicators telling you to watch something. We wait for areas and zones to come up, and when those get to become an interest to us, then we start paying attention. So this is good if you have the ability to sit on your computer at work and trade at a desk or something. Then this is a great method for that. So, and you'll hear that being done between one of us three. So. I think that's a good thing. You don't have to be sitting at home all day doing this. If you got a job, you want to work your job still and trade, then you have the ability to do that. So that's a pretty cool thing, I think.
For sure. The best.
Hang out here. We got some more area to watch. Drop down to drop down. I'm going to zone out to a 60-minute here. Just kind of we'll look on a bigger time frame where our next area of potential pushback is located, and it looks like it's going to be up here around the 29-30 area. So we'll kind of watch for that. Yeah, so we'll kind of kill that right there. Alright.
All right, guys, I'm back.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I'm on a very strict diet. I have to eat every hour.
Really? Well, that's good, man. I mean, that's good. So
You got to feed the machine. That's all I have to say.
you do have to feed the machine, yeah. Yeah, you didn't miss much, you know. Just be patient. Gotta watch.
Good, good. All right, that's good. That's good. I know you're looking at the 1 hour.
Yeah, I back that. Yeah, just to look at it and see what else, what other resistance we have overhead. That's all I did. So if we stay above this area right here, then we don't have real resistance until about the 30, 31 area. So we'll just be patient. So anybody else excited about football?
Oh yeah,
Come on, baby.
I know, right?
Yeah.
This is the best time of year to live in Alabama.
No doubt. No doubt.
The weather starts getting nice.
Yeah.
We've survived yet another summer.
It was a hot summer. I mean, this last couple months have been tough.
I know it's been burning outside. It's
Man.
humid.
All right, there we go.
Which, growing up in South Alabama, I do feel it is a little bit nicer than down there. It doesn't come on quite as hard early on, but it's still Alabama.
Yeah. Sure.
So you guys are both Roll Tide fans. Is that correct?
That's
I am
correct.
indeed.
That's correct.
The University of Alabama, Soto.
That's right. The University of Alabama. It's gonna be an exciting year.
How about Sanford, man? You guys looking to have a good season this year?
I think so. You know, it's funny you said that. I just got off the phone with the coach. We're looking good.
Yeah.
We got a couple good players coming in from a couple community colleges transferring in.
That's awesome.
I don't even know who they're playing. After my brother stopped playing, I just never kept up. I don't really keep up with any teams, unfortunately. I should probably should, but
Oh, we know one team you keep up with. You shouldn't. That's
Let me tell you about the
that's a little different sport, but still.
one of the best teams to ever play the game.
Oh Lord, here we go. I probably should.
If you're a Boston Red Sox fan,
Are you a
welcome.
baseball fan, Soto?
I'm not a baseball fan. I do enjoy watching. I like going to the game, but I like to watch a little bit of baseball. But no, I'm not a huge fan. I've never played it. I think it's a very dangerous sport, personally.
That says so much about you right there.
But yeah, you never played soccer with the guy. The guy's pretty brutal on the soccer. On the field, man.
Break
Watch
his
out.
backs in soccer.
He will, man. He's aggressive out there.
I can tell he's pretty aggressive.
No baseball. I'm always been scared of the baseball. Like that ball is so small and moves so fast. I just see so many things go wrong. Not a fan. But I love football and I love soccer. I love hockey. So I stick with those.
I've gotten into hockey here lately, I will say. More and more. Been going to some, I don't know what you call it, some farm team games, and
Yeah.
been to a few pro games. It's fun. I don't quite understand everything, but it's fun to watch.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
good. I do want to point out last season, Sanford football only lost. Now, again, we never say we win, but we always say when it's a close game, we only lost by 10 points against Florida State, former national champion. So that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was years ago, bro.
They're still former national champions, I believe. Is that correct?
They are. That is a true statement.
That is a true statement. That's what we do here. Give true statements. So, let's see. Now, for those Auburn fans, I want to give you guys a heads up. November 23rd, it's going to be a tough day for you guys. You guys will be visited by the Sanford University Bulldogs at Auburn Stadium over there. So be ready. You guys are going to lose that one. You guys will have 2 losses this year against the Road Tide and against the Sanford Bulldogs.
There you go. I'm believing in that. I like that.
Yeah.
Sanford's gonna get a new addition to their school because they played Auburn. That's a pretty good check.
That's a pretty good check, yes. That's what I hear. Let's see here. All right, it's coming back into that zone, and again, it's already been triggered for us, but we're not going to reuse it unless you guys are. I'm not.
Not with that big candle coming down like that.
All right.
Volume increasing over the previous candle. I'm scared of it, but I do think it'll bounce back out one more time. Maybe not a full 5 ticks, though.
Yeah, it went right to the bottom there. Let's see.
There she goes.
There we go.
All that does right there for us is confirm that we know where price is looking to bounce and move because of buyers in certain areas waiting. You know, so that's the good thing about pointing that out. You know, definitely didn't meet criteria of the trade, but it definitely was kind of fun to say, hey, we should get a bounce here. I mean, it becomes fun, I guess, when you get confident to say you know when something's going to happen. And you really don't know, but you have a high probability to say, enough confidence to say, hey, we're going to bounce out of this area at least a little bit, which we did, which was cool, you know. But you kind of, with this method, and the mindset of what you're doing here. We're not just looking at price action, but there's a philosophy behind why price is moving. And when you start thinking in those terms of why price is going down there, who's it going down there for, and what's it going to get, and start treating the market as in personal terms, you know, as humanistic terms, and you start saying, you know, well, they're moving here, they're moving there, or why did they go there, why did they not go there, you know, that kind of stuff. You start seeing it more on that kind of a level versus a authority figure concept, you know. You start seeing that these are all just human emotions that have been driven. Even though algorithms are a big part of the trade, well, those algorithms were created by humans, you know, so there's still human philosophy and touch into that. And from an emotional standpoint, it's good to be able to forward think, I guess you could say, about what's going to happen and what the possibilities are to happen on each move or in each tick in each direction and each area that we put out there. So it's good to see that kind of come to fruition when you think it out, you know.
I agree. Yep. I enjoy doing that myself.
Yeah. I think there's a term for that, actually, a scientific term. What is that? I'll look that up, but it's some kind of a. It's actually something they study, with your mind when you can start picking out scenarios or what to happen, And I think I've heard it. I forgot what it's called. I'll figure that out, but it's kind of really neat from a psychology standpoint and how we think and how successful traders actually think. And it's been proven the fact that very high output and consistent traders think that way. Think about all this in advance, what's going to happen, why are they doing this, why are they doing that, what's the potentials to happen here, should I do this, should I do that, ahead of time. You start putting these scenarios out there because you're actually thinking about possibilities and why would they do this, why would they do that, are there going to be buyers there, are there sellers there, if I buy here, why would somebody buy it for me at this price, that kind of thing. You start thinking about that kind of stuff, and that's been proven to be a very good characteristic of successful traders. So that's something we want to talk through here and kind of keep that going.
Yeah, that's great. It's good to know. I feel like Mitchell, stop me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like that's something you and I have done quite a bit. Will you agree with that?
Yes, I didn't want to sound like a suck up, but yes,
Yeah.
I have. That's something I've definitely. It's weird. When Soto and I discuss the market, a lot of times we definitely put a personality on it. We almost humanize it, as well as we'll sit there and draw zones and blue lines and zones and blue lines. Oh, we would have gotten it, or I think they're going to do this, and we just watch it. We did that for a long time
We did.
when we were kind of learning together.
That's great. That's great. I think that has a lot to do, whether you want to believe it or not. I think that has a lot to do with the successes you guys have had thus far with the method. Is humanizing it. Giving it, like you said, it's got a personality, and so recognize that and talk to it like it does.
Right. Because you'll have that day where you have those perfect zones and everything looks good, but maybe the market just isn't in the right mood, is kind of how I say it. And it respects your zones, but it may go deeper than you're used to. I mean, I feel like it changes month to month. You really just have to you couldn't just trade once a month and come back in, and it's not going to act like it did the last time you traded.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. It is definitely a little different every time. Yep.
It's like Soto. It's a little moody.
Very moody.
What's going on?
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah, what? Sorry?
yeah, we can hear you. So you okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking. I'm trying to see what's going on here. I think they're just hanging out over here. So I was trying to look at the big picture of things to see what's going on. So sorry, I should have.
No, that's good. No, that's good. No, I'm just making sure you're all right.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, great.
Well, you can see we had a little sideways action through the morning, starting around 5 o'clock. We kind of started going sideways, and we tried to bust out here just a little bit, but, recently since the market's open, but you can really see it's not with any conviction. It's all on less and less volume, so you can kind of see that. And So that tells a story, you know. Not a lot of conviction one way or the other right now. So we're just gonna be patient and see which way it wants to go, and show that and give conviction to that, and that's just part of the deal here, to hang out and wait, you know. Kind of getting into that 10:15 ish, anywhere from 9:45 to 10:15 area. You kind of start getting some direction, you know. So we're just gotta wait and see. We'll let that direction give us a firm.
Yeah, they're going down hard here.
Yeah.
You guys traded there?
Nope.
No reason to trade there.
I traded 5 times.
I believe that, but let's keep that quiet. We don't want everybody to lose confidence in you.
I'm kidding. Just joking. Just joking.
It
No, but
did
seriously,
bounce- it did
but
bounce
seriously,
out of there, Soto, and I did have a trigger line there, but I suppressed my emotion to trade.
yeah, I think the volume just, like I said, it's going to double from previous. And like I said, long, it's already been triggered. That zone has already been triggered anyways. But just kind of watching, it's interesting. They went right to the bottom of that zone, the 930 zone. So, but we got volume almost double. It's going to be double previous 10/10 candle. Strong push down. There it is. They broke through it. I'm kind of hoping they go hopefully next candle can go and reach us down at the what is that, the 5 a.m. zone.
Yeah, that's our next area. Yeah, that we're watching.
Yeah. Now again, if this closes below strong close, would you consider again flipping again? How many times do you flip that? Supply and demand to supply, demand back to supply.
Yeah, as many times as I need to. I mean, it's going to have to. I mean, obviously, it's been proven multiple times from to the short side and to the long side that there's buyers and sellers right there. You know, so I'd have to see this candle though blow through this support down here at 1350, at 29.1350. I have to see that push through there hard and close down below that before I would consider even turning that old 930 zone into a supply zone, you know. So I need a lot to happen still for that to be a case.
Sure.
Because you think about it in this terms, you know, they push price to areas of supply and demand, right? So, which are usually around support and resistance areas and congestion areas, and so it makes sense that if they had a zone at that point at one time and they push through hard and continue to go, then it would make sense that they're going to come. If they come back into that area, there's going to still be potential opportunity in that area. So we got to understand that price gets pushed from zone to zones ultimately. You know, whether we have them marked up or not, but that's what really happens. So one zone could easily be flipped into another zone to the opposite direction if it meets the criteria, and that's kind of how I do it. That's kind of my thought process and the way it works is. So I won't do that until I've got conviction to show now that that zone that was demand right here, it gets taken out. All the buy orders at this point in that zone has been taken out. They have to be. Okay, so they're taken out at this point. So this zone right now, from a demand standpoint, to me is done for sure. But I'm not going to switch it into a supply until I have strong conviction to the downside. To show that now the sellers took over in that zone, so now that can be a supply zone when it comes back. If price wants to come back and touch it, so it's just a matter of being patient, and wait and seeing if it happens or not. But we know at this point the demand side of it's done. You know, there's no more buyers right there in that area. You guys understand that?
I do.
Okay, and it's because of that long wick that took out that whole area. It could only keep going lower because there was opportunities for people to buy right there. So now that area has been cleaned out of buys at this point in time. That doesn't mean to say there can't be more to come in right here as from a new set, you know, of buyers, but from my money that was sitting there, it's done. Excuse me. Ugh.
That's the most unprofessional thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, it was. That's pretty bad. I was up pretty late myself, so. Yeah.
You stayed up late also trading the European?
No, I didn't. I wasn't trading, man. I was doing some other things.
Okay.
I did see where you made some trades last night, though, around 9, 10 o'clock at night, weren't you? 9 o'clock or whatever it was.
Yeah, I don't think it was. Yeah, that sounds about right. It wasn't that late.
Yeah, it's the Asian session. That's what that is.
Yeah. I just left it on, and I walked by and looked at it. And I was like, "Whoa, we got something here."
Now, what do you guys think about it? Is there anything right here at 10:10?
Going based on what you taught us yesterday, there is something, I guess, but it doesn't meet the traditional criteria. But based on what you've taught us yesterday, we might have something there based on previous history. We got a lot of open and closes in that area, and we got going back to 825. We got a good resistance there.
Yeah.
Will you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
All right. Will you consider a trade here?
I'm not right now, but I wanted to point it out, you know. But I think there could be some rejection just because of the higher time frame rejection. But I think there could potentially be something there, but I'm not going to look at it at this point. But yeah, I like to point that kind of stuff out because at some point in time, I think that area is going to be rejected out of, you know, whether it happens right now or another point in time, but it's going to be rejected. There's orders right there to the downside, and there will be some rejection out of that area at some point in time. You know, whether I take the trades is another story, but it will show that. Just be patient here, you know, just stay patient, watching price, let it do what it wants to do. So.
When do we do the rollover for the next quarter?
It's going to tell you when the next contract to come up, so don't mess with it until Ninja Trader will send you a little, we'll send you a notification. So I mean, the rollover, I mean, it's 4 times a year, you know, so every 3 months, but I would wait for Ninja Trader to send you that notification that, hey, we need to start rolling contracts, and it'll do that when you log on, you know, you start looking to roll, and then at that point, I'll wait. When we get to that point, I will wait from that standpoint and see with the 2 contracts, you know, with the other contracts in play, I'll see which ones volume wise is the strongest, and then that's when I'll roll. You know, so we just kind of wait to see when all the big boys have rolled to the new contract. That's when we'll roll with it. But it'll give you a notification, so no worries there. Just hang tight. Well, obviously this area is showing some signs of strength, isn't it? It's showing a little bit of area of buyers still sitting in there.
Yeah.
So. We're just in sideways action, man. There's just no reason to take a trade through here. You know, we can get it eaten up so quickly, and it's just not worth it. Especially with our 1-point stops that we use, and we're very tight. So we don't want to get into price action like this. So Because let me ask you guys this, from your standpoint to this point, being somewhat new, does this look like a perfect scenario for you to trade? I mean, does this look like the perfect picture of what I try to tell you is a good trade?
Absolutely not for me.
No. Like right now, are you talking about the 9 o'clock zone, 9:30 zone?
Either one of them, yeah.
No, no.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
just not there, right? So, I mean,
right.
as much as we like to trade, there's going to be days that we just don't trade. We've already got a couple trades in a day, one winner, one loser. So, um, and then we got about 30 minutes left, 35 minutes or so left in the end of the live stream here. So we'll be patient and wait and see if it wants to break out of this sideways action before we commit to doing anything. And we'll just be patient and wait for the opportunity to come to us. That's the name of this game. Get in the trades based on your terms, not what you're being told to do here. Let's just kind of wait and see and let the story unfold, and get in when it's the right time. So Mitchell, you don't have any trades in today, right?
I do not.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. Soto, you've got two. You're one and one.
That's correct.
And I have one, which is a net half point. So okay. All right. Yep. So that's just being patient right here. So what do you think about this zone right here that we just discussed?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Volume's going to increase here. Previous is pushing hard. I have a potential trade at 29.20.
That's where I would put it.
But I don't know. Just honestly, I think I'm willing to wait at this point.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Mitchell, you trading?
I am not going to trade. I have a trigger line right there, and I'm just going to watch it.
Where do you have yours at?
29.20.
Oh, okay. All right.
And explain real quick for anybody joining, why do you have it right there?
You got a lot of touches right there on the bodies, as well as looking over at my order flow chart. We've got an uncapped pocket right above 29.20 at 29.20.25. And we're pretty deep in the zone, so it's a conservative trade if you're going to trade that zone.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Good job.
Where would you go, BK? How did you trade it on that?
Oh, I'd have been right there at 29.20. Yeah, absolutely. To me, that's the obvious place, for that zone right there at 10.10. But again, it's not the ideal setup for me because I don't like being in the middle of sideways action taking trades, even though zones present themselves and potential trades present themselves. I just don't like doing that in sideways market, and that's where we're at. But that is the ideal spot, right, that you guys called out to me, is a 29.20. Without looking at order flow, without looking at anything else, just visually looking at price action, because we have open and closes right there. We have four of them right there, and then multiple touches in that area with resistance areas. That to me, that was the ideal situation. It went up and touched it. It probably wouldn't have put you in the trade, but it did show rejection from right there at that spot. So that was good. We were in the right area. So I guess while we got a little bit of time, we can talk about the Auto Trader a little bit. It had a pretty good night last night. And we kind of locked in 9 points on the trade, which was good.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, so that was nice. It didn't hit our full profit target, but it locked in 9, and then it ended up actually reversing out of that and going to the opposite direction. So had we not had our risk management and money management that's built into the algorithm there. Had it not performed, we'd have lost in the trade. But because it performs the way it does, it locked in 9 points. So that was nice.
Now, is that in the all four markets, or is that just one market?
That was in the. I just put it on one market, and that was the micro e-mini market, which was it was the same way as the ES market here. So it locked in on both of them. But I didn't trade the Nasdaq markets. I just trade the e-mini markets, and between the ES and the micro. But I didn't put it on the Nasdaq last night. So, and that's one thing about the auto trader. If as you guys get more familiar with that, they don't always trade on the same days together, even though the markets move a lot the same way with the four markets that we trade on the auto trader. The Nasdaq, the micro Nasdaq, and then the E-mini and the micro E-mini or ES. That's the four markets that the auto trader runs on. Sometimes they don't take the same trades on the same days, So, and that's how it was yesterday. There wasn't there wasn't Nasdaq opportunity yesterday, so. And we kind of know that going in. So, but it worked out well, which was good. So that's always kind of neat to see the results happen on a daily basis, because between all four markets, it trades every day. Whether the ES market is in a trade that day, if not, then the Nasdaq's in a trade. Sometimes they trade three out of 5 days they trade together on the same days, but then the other 2 days one of the other is taken over. So, which is pretty cool. But anyway, that's kind of neat. Throw that in there.
Yeah, that's great.
So,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so definitely if you ever have interest in it, and don't have time to trade, or don't really want to learn to trade, or just want to earn some money while you're learning to trade to kind of build that buffer in there, then check out the Auto Trader. It's in the link in the description. You can kind of see what it's done from January to current day, or actually to middle of August. I'll update it at the end of August for the 2 new weeks, since it's what it's done, but which is continue to perform and shine. So if it is an interest, check it out. It's in the description there, and it might be something you're interested in. So try to give an update on that every once in a while, while we're dead, just to kind of keep some talking going on in the chat room, so it's just not dead air. So try to make conversation.
For sure, I think the Auto Trader is an absolute awesome tool for exactly what you said. Someone that's learning to trade and they're kind of scared about losing some points, they can have that running, and that just gives them their in a sense, kind of like free money to trade with, until you get confident to where you can trade on your own and still have it earning for you in the background.
Absolutely, yeah. It's the biggest thing with the Auto Trader. It runs off a little bit different philosophy than what we do here, because it grabs those big runs at the right times, and that's what we want. But it takes the human emotion out of it. That's the biggest thing about the Auto Trader. Okay, because I can trade basically. I can teach you to trade on the daily chart what the Auto Trader's got to trade. I already know that, because I designed the algorithm. But it's what it does. It takes the human emotion out of the whole thing, which is what you have to have, to make these big wins. I mean, for it to run 40 points and you make a 40-point winner, and it to lock in profit at the right times and things like that. From an emotion standpoint, doing that live, I'd be ventured to say 99% of every trader on the planet can't do that, because you see that money growing, and you just think about what you can do with that money, and you're going to lock in that money. You don't want to lose that money. So you're going to lock in, and you end up locking in prematurely, and not letting the market do what it wants to do, or it has a set stop based on parameters, so it's not going to ever adjust the stop, so you don't have that emotion of wanting to be right and adjust the stop loss and things like that. So from the biggest deal about the Auto Trader, I mean, you can see for yourself, go to the link and see the video I've done that shows every trade that it takes, on what days it takes it, and I show winners and losers. But the biggest issue is, guys, is it takes the emotion out of trading. And emotion is good in trading to a very small extent, but when you really want to let something had the potential to grow really, really big, and be based on a small account or one contract or whatever, let that just kind of grow on its own. The Auto Trader is very good for doing that. So, and like you said, Mitchell, you can run it in the background while you do want to do it, while you want to day trade. All you can do is open a sub account to let it do that, and then it can trade for you while you trade daily if you want to do that. You know, I mean, it can catch your big long runners, you know, at certain times, and there's days it's going to trade while you're sleeping. You know, that's just the way it's designed to do. There's the algorithm is running on a private server 24 hours a day while the market's open, running parameters and checking for the best settings to be ran. You know, so those settings will change every once in a while on that. Either once they've optimized and there's a better optimization than what you have, then we'll send out new settings for that. But that's one of the cool things to me is it runs constantly looking for the best opportunities and the best trades that are more consistent. That's going to happen the most often, you know, when you're going to get these big runners. And so that's something we can't sit here and do 24 hours a day in testing, and it does that, which is cool. So
I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. So I think you're going to really enjoy it. So,
Didn't quite get it all set up in time last night. Had a bunch of stuff I had going on, but I'm good to go now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, let me go ahead and tell you, because I failed to mention this when I sent you the video, that it's based on Eastern time. Okay, the times and everything that's going to trade or look for a trade, it's based on Eastern time. I forgot to tell Paul that, and I asked him last night to make sure he got into the trade. Come about 8:45 Eastern time, and he had already missed the trade because he was putting it in a little late because he was thinking Central time.
I thought you meant Eastern, so I kind of had that in my head, but I didn't even. That's what messed me up. If it would have been Central, I'd have had plenty of time, but I was working until about 8 o'clock or so Central.
Sure, yeah, and so you're right. So I just base everything, my charts and my computer, everything's set up to New York time because that's how things work for us and get the best price actions. But just so you know, I called him yesterday. We got into a trade, got him a couple points out of it, you know, and I just said it's better off just to kill the trade manually since we don't have the Auto Trader to constantly trail and at the right times to lock in profits. And if he didn't want to sit up all night and watch it, then we needed to kill it, which we did, which was good. I mean, like I said, he made a few points out of it, so that was good. But just so you know, yeah, it's anybody that knows and listens to this, if they, if they want to, if you ever decide to buy it, just know that everything's set up on Eastern time, and I'll actually redo the download videos and all that kind of stuff, and make sure that's well known to be. It's set up on Eastern time. So.
And we should also let the viewers know that if they are interested in setting up an account and everything with NinjaTrader, that NinjaTrader is running a special right now with the micro that if you buy a lifetime license, you're going to have no commissions for an entire month.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Very cool. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Cool little special that they're running. When actually I bought my license, they had $400 off the license. So, you know, they're constantly running specials and things to help people kind of get into this.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I mean, I think that's great. And one thing we should mention as well, if you're new to this and just brand new to trading, NinjaTrader.com is the platform we use. You go to NinjaTrader.com. You can download this software for free, okay? And you can trade with demo account for free. So you don't have to pay anything for that. If you decide eventually you want to fund an account, I mean, you can do it with $50 to $250 on the micros and just kind of open it up and kind of watch it so you get live price action. Don't have to worry about every couple of weeks getting that demo going again. But if you ever decide you want to trade this full time and you make the commitment after you put the demo trading in for a while, and then I would definitely suggest you buy a lifetime license, which is very reasonable. I think I paid about $1,250 for mine. You know, shoot, how many years ago was that? My goodness, back. But the issue is, from a commission standpoint, you get a better commission rate, and it pays if we trade quite often. Like we trade at least every day. usually it'll pay for itself over time with just commission savings of commission. So that's something to look at. But again, if you're brand new, you do not have to buy any kind of license right away. Just it's a free download. So I would suggest you do that first and do the demo mode. Just learn to use the platform, and learn how to trade, and before you ever fund anything in an account, prove that you can do it. Don't take the risk with real money until you've proven to yourself, honestly, that you can trade. Which, if you hang out with us, you'll be able to. And then at that point, when the time's right, you could always fund your account and go live. And if you choose to buy a license at that point, you can. You still don't even have to buy it at that point. You just have to pay regular commission rate, but which is still not bad. Very, very reasonable. So, well, all right. Looks like we're getting some direction here. Let's check that out. All right, we're moving
Headed down to that bottom zone of ours.
right
Would you take
zone.
that trade, Brian?
Not yet. I'm not. No, that's too big of a candle, man. That's too much for me. I mean, it's just blowing. And it's going to bounce. We know that, right? We know it's going to bounce probably, but that's a massive candle, big volume, and look at that. It just pushed right through it. So yeah, that tells you something right there. We finally got some direction. 10:30.
Pushing through.
Yeah, it's done push through our zone here. So, but it's in an area right here of what's cool to me is it never gets old, man. It never gets old to me, the fact that big price moves to a area of congestion, man. So we're inside where there's a lot of congestion in this area right here, and price moved right to it, and just kind of hanging out and seeing what it's going to do there. But that's just kind of cool to me. I mean, there's a zone right there, obviously, that is rejected pretty strong, and that's 2905.25 is the bottom of that zone. It's the 415 zone. Y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good area of was supply there. That's become obviously has become demand. So that was kind of neat. So make sure that's a pretty big move right there out of the gate. So make sure there's no news. I checked news this morning. I didn't see any news out today that was going to be a big issue. Now, let me see here one more time. Make sure I didn't miss something. Yeah. Yeah, nothing for us big except this morning we had GDP a prelim at 8, but that was at 8:30, but it was to be expected. So we just got a big move here for some reason. I'm not sure, but no big deal. Look at things rejecting pretty hard though, isn't it?
Yeah. That's good. Good rejection rate right there.
Yeah.
Where do you go check your news at? Do you go to the NinjaTrader platform to check the news?
No,
BK?
I don't. I go to forexfactory.com. Just because I used to trade a lot of forex, and it's always got a good economic calendar there, and it kind of tells you for everything, whether it doesn't matter. It gives you all the major economic news reports for each day and for each month on a daily basis, and it gives you kind of a color code indicator how important they are, what currencies it's going to affect, that kind of stuff. So it's Forex Factory. Let me just pull it up here real quick. It's forexfactory.com, and then you'll see if you kind of. I've got this thing preset here, so I can't remember as soon as you go on to Forex Factory if it's going to automatically load the news section or not. There is a news tab there. You can kind of click on it and watch it and see. But I like. I guess that was the nat gas. It looks like finally hit. That's what that was, I guess. The natural gas storage report, I guess, came out and we're negative pretty hard there. So I guess that's why that was a big movement. even though it was a few minutes afterwards. It finally, I guess, finally hit. That's the only thing I could assume that there's a big movement for temporarily. But no biggie. Alright, so let's see here. I was just getting ready to flip that too. Look at that. Took a little bounce out of it.
The 830.
Huh?
Sorry. Are you talking about the 830 flipping that one?
The 930, yeah.
930.
930 or 855,
Yeah.
either way. Yeah.
No. Right. Sorry. 930. Yeah.
Yeah. I respected it, and it's rejecting out of it a little bit, so that was cool. But I wouldn't have traded it still just because of that massive long rejection wick there on that big move. But it shows still selling power or pressure to the downside here, so that's cool.
It's been a relatively slow morning.
Yeah, it has. It's been kind of one of those mornings that kind of the trade opportunities are far and few between, you know. We called a couple, which was good, but yeah, it's been kind of one of those mornings. I might tell you maybe the afternoon session would be a pretty good session, you know, if he once he kind of does what he wants to do. But I won't be around to trade it, but it might actually find some direction this afternoon. But we only got about 15 minutes left of the live stream here, and I'll probably call it with it being like it is. But unless you guys want to stay around a little bit longer, then you can.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna come down to our area here. What about the 1035? You consider making that a zone, or even the 1030, making that a new zone?
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely an area of supply now for sure.
I did update the just the individual chart. I put a loss there for mine.
Good.
Since
Yeah.
my first point was lost.
Good.
I didn't update the team. So if you want to do that,
Yeah, yeah, man, I will. I'll show that live. You know, kind of. I'll pull it on the screen here in a few minutes. I'm gonna wait till we get a little bit closer to time because yesterday we were a little premature in doing that and updating that the profit spreadsheet because right at 11 o'clock I think it was you took a trade that was set up perfectly and you got extra points. So instead of us, when I had updated, we were only a point and a half up. We had like 10 minutes left, and we were like, it's not gonna. We can probably just go ahead and fill it out. Probably nothing gonna happen. And sure enough, the trade set up very quickly, and you took it and got a point. So we actually netted out 2.5 yesterday, so instead of the 1. So that was cool. So I'll wait till the last minute or so before we shut this thing down before I'll update it.
all right.
So let me ask you this. I would like to get your thoughts on this, guys. We're at, our zone that we had drawn at 5 o'clock this morning. All right.
All right.
That big zone that this candle just busted through.
Uh-huh.
1040. How do you feel about trade coming back into that candle? What is your thought process here into that zone?
I think that it will be respected. I think I've seen it where at first they don't respect it because they're picking up something, and then the second time around they will come back and respect it.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that. So
I agree with that.
So y'all looking to take a trade here anywhere?
I got a 2908.75.
2908.75. Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
That is exactly.
I like it. I like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a trade in there.
What was that, Mitchell?
That's where I'm at too, Soto.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Good.
Well, I've got an order sitting here on the books waiting, so we'll see if we can kind of get into this trade here. If we keep getting a little bit of rejection out of this candle here. I'd love to see this candle close right about where it's at with a little bit of rejection right there and then open a new candle.
Yeah.
But that's what I'd like to see. But I'm going to go ahead just because we've got a lot of obviously buyers in that area rejecting it. Volume's low. So I'm going to go ahead and put an order in at 875 and just kind of let it sit there for a few minutes to see what happens.
Yeah. Well, we might be getting picked up here in a second.
Maybe.
Yeah, but from my experience, and it hasn't been very long, but from my short experience, I've noticed that at first a zone may not be respected, especially after a strong move like we saw at the 1040, and then they'll come back and respect it because there is money sitting there that they left behind. So
that's right. That's a very good observation. That's right. But it's obviously showing some good respect now, and just at a higher price. So we'll just kind of, but this is one of those trades we were talking about yesterday, right? This kind of intra-bar trade right here. We'll kind of see, as long as this thing decides to close down in this zone right here with a little bit of rejection, I'll keep the trade there. But if we close up out of here, I'll probably, being it's the second push, I'll probably not do anything. But we'll just kind of see if it wants to keep bopping around here, go a little bit lower and grab us. You guys still sitting there? Y'all still in the trade?
I'm still in it, waiting.
Waiting, yeah. But you guys still feeling good about it?
I still feel good. Look,
huh?
I'm always the naysayer of the group. I'm the pessimist.
That's all right. You're more conservative.
It's looking good. It looks good to me. Volume is going to be below previous. They're trying to get up there. They're getting some good rejection from it. They're trying to get down there. I think we're solid.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I know you got those tarot cards out, so I'm good.
To me, it really matters where this candle closes, right? If it closes at the bottom, I'm going to drop down a little lower, just because I know it's going to push down and give a little wick. But I'll kind of keep it ready to move if I need to move it. But we'll see where this candle closes right here. Okay, this is a big deal where this candle's going to close. So
I can tell you it's going to close in about 22 seconds.
All right, well, there you go. I like that. How do you know that, Soto? My goodness, how can you
Well,
pinpoint
listen,
that?
you know, I've done this a long time. I can tell you, man.
Okay.
I can't show you all the tricks.
Okay, I like it.
Sorry.
I think we're closing out of the zone.
Yeah.
I think we're still good. You know,
Yeah, I kind of think his volume's still lower, so I think we're
Probably,
okay. I'm gonna stay for
Yeah,
a second
stay.
here. I'm gonna check out and watch volume closely here. It's not my favorite setup right at the moment, so I'm gonna watch it closely. But I'm ready to close when I need to here.
Make sure you still in.
I've still got it there, brother.
You feel like you're being talked into it, or are you?
No, I mean, I would. It's something I would do.
Okay.
Trust me. I'm not easily persuaded.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
So if I leave it there, it's because I want to.
Yeah.
But am I looking away from the computer every 5 seconds hoping it just picks me up before I can tell? Yeah.
Yeah. This is fun. This is this is really exciting. Whether you're just learning or you've been doing it for a few some time, I think it's an exciting thing to do. And it's a lot better when you win more than you lose, which is our case. So.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It's definitely right.
I never thought I would look forward to a Monday morning.
Dude, I completely agree with that. The weekends are miserable now.
I hate the weekends. Like my whole life, I never thought that was a possibility. And now I can't wait till Monday. Like, let's rock, baby.
A lot of weekends, I start Monday morning early, Sunday at 6 o'clock.
That's exactly right.
That's funny. Yeah, it becomes addicting, doesn't it?
It
It's
does.
very
It
fun.
is so addicting.
You find yourself very bored and just thinking and wanting to get back to charts come Sundays and weekends, but that's funny. Everybody goes through it.
Everybody goes through it. That's good.
Yeah. All right, well, for me, I'm going to kill this trade, man, at this point. I'm just going to go ahead and move it out of my you'll see me move it from the chart. Still might be a good zone. It's just taking a little time for it to get there. It might go up and reject out of this area here first and then come back down. So I think it'll bounce a little bit here. I would have loved to have seen it get to us in our zone to get a little bit deeper to pick us up pretty quick here. I would have loved to have seen that happen, but it's not happening yet. So I don't want to get in a kind of a pinball action here. I don't want to get caught in between a lot of sellers and buyers, because we're kind of still in the sideways market, So we didn't take a close out of this good sideways action here. We didn't close below it. We're still in it, So we just got to be careful. But I'm gonna go ahead and kill my trade at this point. But you guys can do whatever you'd like to do.
Mine was dead about 15 seconds before you said that.
Oh, was it? All right.
So, Soto?
I'm still in it to win it, bro.
We know.
I'm just hanging out until our time is up. I'm just kind of watching it very closely, though. I got my finger on the trigger to cancel if I see something I don't like. But volume's going to be less than the previous one. Again, I think they're going to come and dig in a little deeper and then take off north. So... When is the first Alabama game? This Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I guess Duke.
Is it a home game or away?
Atlanta.
Oh, the whole Atlanta. Yes.
That's pretty much one of our home fields, though.
Yeah,
that is.
Exactly.
I think you guys actually have played more championship games in that field than the Atlanta Falcons actually have. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's actually a real statistic.
That is.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You guys are a good team. Good team. Yeah. Speaking of good teams, how about those Florida Gators?
Yeah, they barely got by last week, man. That was pretty sloppy.
That's probably my number 2 team right there.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I did a little college in Florida, and my grandparents lived down there about 20 minutes outside Gainesville, so I have a little bit of Florida in me.
All right.
Well, we played one of the best teams last week in the nation. So the University of Miami, they're known for obviously great performance. So, but
they're really good in the 80s.
Yeah, back in the 80s, they were awesome.
I never mentioned when they were not good. But yeah, man, we got a good schedule. I can't believe they're number 8. I really don't think they should be number 8, but it's cool.
What are you thinking? 10 or 11, 12 or what?
Yeah, maybe top 25. Like
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
not top 10. Now they got Auburn ranked number 16, so I think Florida should have been around that area. I think Auburn should have been more in the 25 area. They got a rookie quarterback, and I don't know.
Bama did too a couple years ago, and
Yeah, but it's a little different. You guys have a coach called Nick Saban. He can take anyone. He can take a middle school kid and turn him to a pro. So
it's all about the process, man. A lot like what we're doing.
yeah, that's exactly
All
right.
about the process. That's it.
So I guess you can say BK is our Nick Saban. Is that right?
Oh,
He's
Lord.
pretty much Saban.
I don't think so, boys.
It's hard to compare yourself to Saban.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna go there.
I don't know, man. You got a great winning record.
Well,
I heard a story about Nick Saban that I just love to hear. I heard him speak one time, and he said when he lost to Florida Atlantic, he went to go get some gas after he left all of his festivities, and the guy at the gas station looked at him and said, "What do you think about that Nick Saban guy?" He said, "We just lost to Florida Atlantic." He said, I looked right back at him and said, "Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work out."
That's funny.
Yeah.
Everybody's always behind you when you win, but as soon as you lose,
Oh yeah, it's a far fall from the top.
yeah, for sure.
Especially here, man. I mean, Bama fans are just so ruthless. You know, it's just they expect a minimum, you know, of a SEC championship every year, if not a national championship look. You know, and if you don't get that, you failed. You know, and that's not good.
Exactly. And will poison trees if you're not careful.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Gotta be careful those having.
We've got a good bit of pesticide.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Well, do you guys like this trade here?
Looking at it here.
What are we flipping that one zone?
Yeah, it's been flipped for a while, so but yeah, it's been flipped because it's already respected it once. This will be the second entry into that.
Yeah, I moved it out once it respected it the first time, and I'm actually using the 1035 as my new resistance zone.
All right, yeah, I like that. I like it.
Yeah, I went in at 29, 16 flat. No, wait, yeah.
You did? You jumped into it already?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I've been at 29, 16 flat. I think that's it. Yeah, it is.
Well, come on, Soda.
I'm trying to figure it out. I can't.
No, I'm rooting for you, brother. I'm not.
Oh yeah, I think it's 29, 16 flat. Yeah, that's it.
Well, you got two right now.
I don't know why it was so low. I had it a little higher. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm still in it. I'm still at the trade here. See, 0.75, 0.50, 125. Not looking good. What the heck? I thought I was at 29.16.5. I don't know what happened. Okay.
Yeah. Why did you get in there? Why did you get in there?
He's the gunslinger.
I'm the guns. You know, you don't get to be where I am by just not taking trades.
That's exactly what we don't want our viewers to hear.
That's a bold. I mean, that's such an open-ended statement, man.
We're gonna have to bleep that out, edit it. It'd be like,
I don't edit anything in here. If you watch these videos, you can see that there ain't no editing going on in any of this stuff.
disregard everything Soto just.
I just lost.
I know.
Oh,
Which is
man.
why you should disregard what you just said.
Good job, Soto. You just took us as a team into negative territory, man. Good job, Soto.
Sorry, man.
The
I don't know what
gunslinger.
happened.
I'm telling you, PK, we've got to mail him some tape so he can tape his fingers down.
Oh,
It's
man.
the only way it's gonna happen.
Something went wrong though. I mean, I still would have lost.
Yeah, I'll tell you exactly what went wrong. Shouldn't have taken it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can give you a couple reasons, but yeah, man,
Hold on.
come on.
Hold on. I was originally, we can go back and listen to it. Originally, I was at 29.16.75, right?
No, you always said 29.16.
Yeah. I think you thought you were going. I think you were thinking higher, but your order apparently went in at 16.
Okay,
So
okay.
you might have been thinking.
Because I can't. Yeah, my bad. All right.
Oh, That's
I don't
funny.
know why I went at 16. I feel like I would have not gone at 16. But anyways, I lost. But I was in the right area, wrong spot. That's all it is.
Oh yeah, that's
Obviously, good
all.
rejection there. So
Hmm.
I just
There's
don't know. Yeah.
there's actually a hidden zone right there, So the
So we're down. Had the
1020 is a
team
hidden
down,
zone.
guys.
Yeah, thanks, man. You took us a negative half a point, man. Thanks a lot.
I
Well,
haven't
you-
traded one time today. You talk about the essence of patience.
That's exactly it, man. You gotta be patient.
So was that a bad trade? I mean, we know it's a bad trade now. But
Yeah, I'll answer that one for him. Yes, it was.
BK, why was that a bad trade? You got volume decreasing. You got a good zone. Again, I should have gone a little higher, but
Well, for me, price action, you got full bodies on the candles. They're moving up strong. The only rejection wicks are coming off the bottom, telling me it doesn't want to go backwards.
right.
That's why I didn't get into it. It just kind of looked like the bodies weren't slowing down enough for me at the moment.
Yeah, I like that philosophy. I just was. I moved the hidden zone was where I was really looking at it, and I've got that on my chart. You can see the hidden zone there, and that ends up being the best entry, obviously, because of the previous resistance at 925 area. Our 920, 925 area makes previous resistance, so the hidden zone's at 1020. So if you mark it up, the ideal entry there would have been at 17. And that'll get you in a one-tick entry, you see. So we were just a little premature. I mean, everything lined up from volume standpoint. I think we were just a little quick on the trigger. That's all. I mean, we were in a good area as far as resistance. We just needed to take a few more seconds and really find out where's the best location in that area because we got some rejection. That's all. No biggie. No biggie.
Man, yeah. Well,
I was surprised you were in that trade so quick, though, man. Next thing I know, we're just talking about it, and you're in it. I was like, well, dang.
His chart is riddled with lines where he's got trades sitting.
Yeah, I probably look at his chart right now, and he's probably got 50 trades gone already happening. He's kept quiet about it. No, Soto's a good trader. He's a good trader.
So, 2917, I want to talk on that for a second. Why? So I actually have that zone 1020, the hidden zone.
Uh-huh.
But I am a little higher. I'm at 2917.75. Can I ask why the 17 even was kind of your area?
Yeah, it was just because the main reason, because I'm in there's a lot of rejection wicks there, even though they're from the downside, those are micro demand areas, So, but since we busted through them, you got to look at those now as prices push through those, so they got to become supply areas. So for me, the only reason I said that would have been a great entry at that point in time, if I was going to take one through that zone, is because of the 920 area to 930 area is a resistance area, and it's right there within all those wicks. So I just thought that would have been a good area to take the trade, just because there's going to be a lot of resistance right there. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason. I mean, you're conservative a little bit higher, and that's fine. I think that's still a good spot if you wanted to be there. I think it's probably a good spot. It's going to work out still, possibly. But for me, just because it was an entry where I feel like I was willing to take the loss if it wanted to go a little bit higher, but there was enough of a rejection there with the old support and resistance and all the wicks to the downside. That's all.
Perfect.
So like I said, it's just it's a field game of what you're most comfortable with, and that's all. That's the only reason that our price was different there.
Wish it would have picked you up right now, actually.
Yeah. Well, I'd have been in one tick at 17 because it went to 17.25 before that red candle. So I'd have been in. At 11.05. It would have taken me in, but.
Right. Do you think the trade at 29.1775 is wise here?
Yeah, actually, I do. I mean, I think it's good. Volume's dead, you know. We're right in the middle of all that thick stuff still. I think it's a good zone that's still active. It's actually, I think it's still a good trade at 17.75. Um, yeah, I think you're going to get a little bit of bounce out of that still. So I do. I think it's fine. Did you get in
Oh,
it?
there we go.
Are
I
you
did
in
get
it?
in.
You did?
I did.
You're
Uh-oh.
in it. All right, here we go.
I wouldn't have got in it, though. That's what I didn't finish saying, but
It's all good.
I'm joking.
I
I'm
would
just messing with you. I'd have
There
got
it
in
is.
it. I'm just
There it
messing
is.
with you. Yeah, I think I would have gotten into it still if I wanted to trade it.
I don't know. That was too risky for
I
me
gotta
to
get
do.
our average back up, boys.
I know we're net negative right now, so I mean half a point, man.
Not
Come on.
anymore, bro. We're in it.
Well,
Yes, I just got us back even.
good job. You got us
Oh,
back up to half a point. Good job.
it is.
Oh
I
boy.
gotta keep you guys
You
humble.
see,
That's why.
Soto, that is what patience gets you,
That's
brother.
what
That's
it is.
exactly right. That's a very good lesson
I
right there.
saw it and it rejected and it kept flirting with that little area, and I was like, you know what? Lost some money yesterday. Let's risk it again.
That's right.
That's good
That's
for
right.
us. Okay.
Good
Good
job.
try. Good try.
If I could sit down at a craps table and win 8 times out of 10, I would probably die of starvation because I would not get up.
You and I gonna. Yeah.
do you
Or
play?
you can also eat while you play, I guess.
Do you
But
play
yeah.
craps,
true.
or you just joking? Or
No,
you
I
play?
do like craps, but the ratio is not quite as stout as this. So this is my new vice, I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. No, I love playing craps, man. I play craps a lot when I go.
That's about that or blackjack.
I don't do blackjack. I just like craps when I do play.
I like to think that I can count cards.
There you go.
I can't. I'm just letting y'all know that I absolutely cannot, but I pretend that I can and kind of freak the dealer out a little bit. I talk to myself and
There you go.
they get a little uncomfortable.
Get the pit bosses kind of walking around.
Yeah, he stands behind me. Then,
Right.
once I've lost like $700 or $800, they realize I just have issues.
And then they offer you a room. Come on back, man. Let me
Yeah,
buy you
like,
dinner. Come on back.
Please, man, you're who we want.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
I
pretty
do know a guy though, not to give any names at all, that can count 10 decks of cards. It is the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
Well, that's what he has to do now if you're going to do it. Does he? Has he gotten banned from any of the casinos yet?
He is not allowed in any of the Mississippi casinos. Let's put it that way.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's
Isn't that
But,
funny, man? You can beat them at their own game and they can ban you.
yeah,
Isn't
yeah.
that something?
He's great. He's an older gentleman, and he's just awesome. One of the smartest people I've ever met. And I actually went with him one time, and they nicely escorted us kind of to a back area and said that our rooms were on the casino. We could eat anything we wanted, drink anything we wanted, but we were not allowed to gamble.
Oh, that says something right there, buddy.
I was like, man, I feel awesome just to be with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's great.
Oh, but doesn't that? I can't imagine having that skill and not being able to use it, knowing that you could just go in and just take it at will.
Yeah,
not be
I
able
would
to
be
use it.
traveling the world. With
I
that
would
skill.
too. That's no joke, man. I'd have every casino lined up where I'm going this month for a couple weeks, where I'm going this month. I mean, I would. If I
Yeah,
could take it like that, I sure would.
he's amazing. I asked him one day, I was like, well, how many decks can you count? He said, well, the most I've ever counted is 10.
Golly.
I said, that is incredible. And he comes up with little sayings that he keeps in his head, how he knows how to keep everything straight. It's pretty awesome just to let him sit there and work.
Well, I'm sure you've had to probably ask him to teach you, haven't you?
I have. And like I said, if you're doing like a $5 a hand or something when they have a lot of decks,
Yeah.
it's almost impossible. But the the ones that you get the maybe only 3 decks if you're playing $50 hands, and you can do it, but it's still, I mean, one little thing, someone gets up from the table, someone moves, everything changes.
Yeah, but can he not? What is it now? Is it $100 a hand or $500 a hand? You tables to yourself.
Yeah.
Does he not do
Yeah.
that?
I think that is when you get caught really quick.
Well, yeah, you got to get caught quick, I guess. But hey, you might you might be able to make a few and go.
Exactly. He typically plays $50 a hand, but he'll bet more. How he kind of hides it is he bets more side bets.
Oh, okay.
So he'll side bet on other people to bust or other people to get it, which frustrates everyone.
Sure. Well, yeah. So let me update this chart here. Let me go ahead and do that. Update this. Since we kind of got back to even now.
Glad I could fix everything Soto unraveled for us.
Oh, that's funny. Come on now. Where you at? There you are. Alright, so let me bring this in. Alright. Okay, so you already updated the individual for today? Is that what you
I
said?
did. That's correct.
Okay,
You can
so
double check.
no, that's perfect. Yeah, good. All right. So as you can see here in the 8/29, which is today, Thursday, we always take the first trade out of the gate for Soto to kind of mark it up as an individual, keep an accurate win-loss record. If you're an individual trading in a small account, 1 point a day, you walk when you win or you walk when you lose. So the first trade of the day that either Soto or Mitchell takes, we put that in there. And you can see today was one contract, no wins, one loss, right? So we lose one contract and we walk. So we lost $55.20 today. So that brought our total to this point to $1,124. So still up $124, right, after commissions and net. So it's still pretty great at one contract at 1 point win, 1 point loss. So you can see we won 4 times and lost 1. So that's a good job. That's very good there. So, all right. So
but I mean, that's 75%. I mean, that's incredible.
That's really, really good. Really, really good. So let's check out the team result. So we'll put this in here. 8/29/19. All right. Contract 1. All right. So we won how many? Let's see. What did we win here? We won. I won half a point. Mitchell won a point, and Soto won a point and lost a point. Right? So, or lost 2 points.
I lost 2 points and got 1, so I'm -1.
Okay, so yeah, I know you're -1, but we got to put the total in here. So we've got 1, 2. We won 2.5 and lost 2. Yeah.
I think we're about to see a little bit of bounce right here too again. Right there.
Oh, this is where I was at 29.20. Okay.
Yep. Right there, you should get a bounce out of it.
Yeah.
Not trading it.
No. But
I repeat, do not
trade. This is where I'm up at.
All right, guys. Well, here's our update real quick. So we made $1.60 for the day. Good job. All right.
We are in the profit.
We're in the profit. All right, here we go. Let me get out of here so I can see what y'all are looking at here. Oh, okay. So you were looking at 29.20 up there. Yeah, that's what we discussed earlier in the day. That hidden zone right there. But it had already been hit a few times, so I wouldn't mess with it. But yeah, it could reject out of there for sure. But all right, man.
I was looking at the 1975. If I was to enter that, that's where I would have gone. I don't think I would have gotten it. I'd have gone all the way to 1, but not to 1.25. So it was wise not to take the trade. But definitely there was a little pocket of orders up there, and it had been bouncing there in the past. So actually, we could watch right here. It actually may go on down.
Yeah, we'll watch it for a second here. Yeah, it's going to be rejecting out of there. Yep.
Yep.
All right. So we're looking at 29.20 up there. Yeah, so we won how many? Let's see. What did we win here? We won $2.5 and lost a point, right? So
Yep.
all right. So 29.20 up there. Yeah, so we won 2.5 and lost 2.
There she's gonna roll down.
Keep on coming. Need one more. Two more.
Come on.
Yep.
It wants to, guys.
Are you in the trade, Mitchell?
No.
No. Okay.
I'm a one and done, brother.
There it is.
There she is. There's the point.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that was a good call.
Yeah, we're good. All right, guys. Well, I guess tomorrow is what's
One of the best days of the week.
Yeah, exactly right. A lot of action tomorrow.
Listen, tomorrow's gonna be great, guys. We look forward to having you guys back on. Please like us and share us with others.
We're gonna have some merch dropping soon.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. I've got some merch, actually. I've got a couple of hats and a shirt. So
I was gonna say I have and I've got some contacts on that as well.
Cool. Yeah, man, we'll do some of that for sure. So just hang with us. Like Soda said, subscribe to the channel, man. Give us a like and just join in and learn and help make this channel a little bit better. But learn, and we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. All right, guys, y'all have a great day.
You too. See ya.
All right, man. Bye-bye.